energy storage system really designed for the C&I market and those types of applications.
Great. Thanks for that background. So let's move into a little bit of the, I guess, product innovations that you touch at CPS and that kind of make your combination of your products and services unique in the market.
Yeah, I guess do you want to get into kind of the innovations themselves or the process?
I think maybe start with the process. Yeah, let's start with the process and then talk about some examples of how that process ended up creating some new products. Yeah, I think that was great.
Yeah, I mean, that's, one area, in my role at CPS, that's really fun is being able to take, the market feedback, the voice of customer of, what the needs are, what types of projects and challenges there are. And it is, the solar industry evolves very quickly. You look at the past 10, 20 years alone, the technology has advanced, the industry itself. There's been many different parts of the industry that have evolved. So it is, something that we have to constantly keep up with. Yeah, I mean, that really drives most of our innovation is really getting, working closely with our customers, the designers, the engineers, the developers, and seeing what types of projects they're working on and, what types of projects are upcoming and then what really, the needs are, or what they're looking for in equipment and taking that and figuring out with our R&D team, what can we come up with? What's the best solution we can develop to make these projects be successful? And, some of our main goals are, how do we make it easy to install, simple on the design side, the interconnection side, and then operations as well, and maintenance. So yeah, I mean, those are a few things that we look at on the innovation side of, really how do we, I guess, come up with these solutions that are going to help make our customer projects, successful. And that could be anything from, the way they're designing it, the way they're submitting their permitting and interconnection with the AHJs and, the way it's operating, how much it's going to produce, but also, the cost of the equipment as well. That all kind of goes into the product development and design. And then, our engineering team has to look at all of the different market needs, whether it's, interconnection requirements, different safety standards, UL 1741, IEEE 1547. A lot of these things are constantly changing and evolving. And, we're in a lot of the different industry groups, seeing what sort of requirements and changes are coming.
In one of my previous conversations with, I think, John Drummond from CPS, I remember a comment like CPS being like the GE of Asia. And, large corporations like that, I'm assuming they must have a great internal process for listening to the customer and innovating around that. I'm just assuming here, but you must have been exposed to some of those processes and learn a lot in terms of how to get that direct feedback from the customer and then innovate solutions that add value. So yeah, lucky you, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, one part of my role and, being at CPS that I like a lot. And, I really feel like we're able to make a big impact with how we innovate. And, we work with a lot of different, EPCs, developers, different types of projects, and we've shipped over, 10 gigawatts of three-phase string inverters to the US alone. So yeah, and, really being able to see, some of the products that we've developed and are now offering and seeing all of the different ways that we've taken that feedback from customers and projects and been able to improve or develop new features and products is really exciting. And I think a lot of the customers that we've worked with closely over the years, they've seen that and, I think appreciate, being able to have some input and then see it realized in a product that's developed.
So maybe we can talk a little bit about some examples of these innovations that come out of this process. I remember you mentioning like even something as simple as a wire box design or various different troubleshooting approaches. And, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the story behind these innovations and then what they are and how they came about, what they do and how they add value to the customer.
Yeah, there's a few kind of key innovations that are